Howdy, with this video, I want to go over a sample self-regulated learner essay so everybody knows kind of what I'm looking for. This sample self-regulated learner essay is located down here under Help Resources. You can just scroll down the table of contents page if you want to. But I'm looking at the sample self-regulated learner essay source. I'm not sure why I put the word source there, but you can just click on that. I already got it opened. What you're going to see is a sample essay with my commentary in it. Again, it's formatted properly. With your last name, page number in the header, then your name, my name, class. You should have your section number on there and the date on the first page, title page information. Then you want a good title, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Actually, we'll talk about it when we do the self-review. But for this essay, you want to start off by introducing yourself as a student. For some of you may have been out of high school for quite a while. This particular student is a dual enrollment student I had at Sullivan Central. So she's going to talk about probably her high school experiences. And you can kind of tell she's a pretty good student there. I'm currently a student at Sullivan Central High School. I maintain a 4.0 GPA and stay involved in clubs. So pretty good, active in her education and everything. Kind of tells us her plans after high school. By the way, dual enrollment is where we teach college level courses within the high school. So she was doing Comp 1 and Comp 2 while she was a senior. Then she moves into self-regulated learning, gives a definition of it. She actually gets kind of fancy here and does a summary. I'm just looking for you to quote directly. When you do that, you want to put quote marks around your direct quotes. And then there's the citation. That's going to be the first word on the works cited page. Don't expect you to know a lot about that right now, but we want to start at least knowing that when you quote from a source, you got to credit that source when you put it in your essay. Then she moves on to get to her thesis. As a self-regulated learner, I've become successful at planning and organizing my work, controlling the learning environment around me to reduce distractions, and asking questions until I'm sure that I've learned the material. So she's got her three profile points there, telling us what the essay is going to be about. And then she's going to spend a paragraph on each one of those points. So it's kind of a formulaic essay. By here, I know pretty much how most of the essay is going to go, which is kind of the point of it. That's kind of predictable, but we kind of know what we're getting into. Then she's going to talk about planning and organizing her work, and she's going to tell us why she's good at that. Using some figurative language in there, and kind of talking about it. When she does a planner, she has her sticky notes with due dates. It's all color coded, super organized kind of person, and that's kind of led to her success. You're gonna notice sometimes in my commentary, I'll say, she could develop, an example, maybe a little bit more here and there, or things like that. Sometimes she needs to make sure paragraphs come to a good close, but she's meeting the requirements of the essay, right? The first paragraph does a good job introducing yourself, bringing in self-regulated learning, and then leading all that into a good thesis. Paragraph should be good and focused, focusing on one particular profile point. And in this case, why she's good at it. If you're going to choose a profile point you're not quite so good at, that's fine, but just make sure you're developing your examples and showing us what you're talking about. Don't just say, my desk is messy, kind of show us what your desk looks like. Do you have like 3-week-old sandwiches molding up at the bottom of your papers, or whatever you might have going on there if you're not particularly organized. And again, then she's going to talk about controlling her learning environment to reduce distractions and how she does that. She's being very specific. Don't just say, I like to listen to music. Tell us what kind of music you like to listen to. Try and be as detailed as you possibly can. And again, kind of complaining that she could use a good concluding sentence to the paragraph. But she's doing well, giving examples, staying focused, developing her ideas. And of course, the last one was asking questions until she understands what's going on. And she's going to give an example of that. Notice I'm kind of pointing out how the dashes work. And kind of complaining a little bit. Maybe she could develop that paragraph maybe just a little bit more. But she's meeting the basic guidelines of the essay and kind of doing a good job of keeping everything focused. Complaining a little bit about the conclusion, but she has the right idea overall. Eventually, y'all are going to have a work on the works cited page when you quote from something from journal 2 or journal number 3. You need to put that on the works cited page. It's going to look like that. Again, we'll go over that one when we actually get the drafts going and everything. But I wanted to let you know that sample essay is out there. I don't always pick the perfect essay. You're going to see she's a good writer, but there are some things she could still work on with the essay a little bit. If I remember right, this is a draft. But if you have any questions as you get started on the essay, again, for Friday, we're going to be the metaphors due the next Monday. The first 3 paragraphs of this essays due. So make sure you're thinking about this. But wanted to keep this short. You can read faster than I can talk, so you don't need me to read the sample essay to you. But wanted to let you know it's there and why I chose it. But we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.